At this point, we have already seen different examples of flow creation, we know the interaction options, and we have also seen all the sections and options of the Flow Builder. We can go a step further and expose the flow, for example, on a web page. In our example, we are going to expose the flow that shows a carousel with cards that allow queries and access to Globant Enterprise AI, GeneXus Next, and GeneXus Next Start. As a first step, we need to generate an application key. So we go to the configuration option in the side menu and click on Generate Key. In Type, select Website and specify a name for the key, for example, Training Key. We save. Once the key is created, we see this copy button that allows us to obtain, customize, and use the generated code in any external page that requires integration with our flow. We click on the button and see the generated JavaScript code. This script performs several key functions that ensure the correct integration of the flow into the web page. It is important to know what it does. First, it automatically creates and adds a script element to the web page that loads the web SDK needed to integrate the flow from the displayed URL. Once the web components are ready, the script creates a new element, which is the main chat container, where we define how the assistant will appear and behave on the page. But in addition, the configuration can be customized, and we can define, for example, whether the chat should be visible or not until the user activates it. We can also customize the regional settings, where we set the language of the assistant, English in this case, and the title that defines the visible name of the assistant. Multibot Assistant is displayed by default. We can also specify the URL of the socket server and the bot ID to manage the communication and the chat session. The script also customizes the appearance of the chat, specifying, for example, the fonts used, and events can also be managed, including user clicks within the chat. All this allows adding more interaction with the flow. In addition to the initial configuration indicated in the script, it is possible to further customize the behavior of the flow using HTML attributes, which allow adjusting the behavior of the chat on the page. The available attributes are as shown here. For more information about its use and function, we recommend consulting the Globant Enterprise AI documentation. Optionally, we can also use custom methods that provide more flexibility to the chat behavior, which enriches the end user's experience on the website. As mentioned before, for more information, we recommend consulting the Globant Enterprise AI documentation. Finally, once all the necessary adjustments have been made, we can incorporate the script into the web page and start testing to make sure that everything works correctly. If we don't have the page ready or we don't want to modify the source code yet, we can still perform a quick test using the Google Chrome Developer tool. So we open the browser, go to the More Tools option, Developer Tools, and in the window that opens, we go to the Console tab and paste the generated JavaScript code. We press Enter. It is important to note that this action may result in an error due to restrictions or security policies defined on the site. Okay, let's test its operation. Let's make a query on GeneXus. And try to access the GeneXus Next Start test site. Perfect. As an example, we are going to make a small customization. We see that the chat is named Multibot Assistant. Let's change it to Training Assistant. The executed script can no longer be modified, so we refresh the page. Paste the script again. Make the change, and then press Enter. We see the title changed. We can also further customize and adjust the behavior and appearance of the assistant on the page.